Alright, Shalom. First off, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Yahweh Shai,
Ba'ashem,
Ruach
Ruach
Kudash. Double honor to the apostles and elders up in Great Millstone. And a sincere peace and salutation to all the Akim pushing this word and truth to the city. If we wanted to land back off the rest of the Akim, we had a live show, DC Camp, had a live show concerning the GMS versus ISUPK, complete slaughtering debate in favor of GMS, in favor of the true doctrine of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and that's what's going on, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is bringing light to whom his true men are, and it's starting. His true men starts with, whether you like it or not, Apostle Tahar on down, and how would you know that? Because you see it by the fruits, if you can get that Matthew 7 and start at 15, because it's coming to light, man. That dude, that ISUPK member had no business speaking on the scriptures, which he didn't even have a sword on him. A man of the Lord, you see an army, a soldier, he at war, right? He's in a foreign land. You think you're going to catch him without his equipment? You're not going to catch him without that, because at the end of the day, a man of the Lord keeps his sword with him, and you're going to have to learn how to slice it and swing that sword,
But one thing he did have, a couple things he had his ISUPK emblem, he had his fringes on, he had everything but the actual word, the word of the Lord.
Yeah, we referred to the Lord as Christ until the men of the Lord got irritated hearing that name Christ and said his name is Yahweh Shai, to kill that Christ spirit. But go ahead.
This is Matthew chapter 7, 15. It says, "Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves."
Right, now what's that sheep's clothing? That's that militant, that strong army together look. You'll look at brothers in GMS, they raggedy, they got these BS garments on, sackcloths, because we're humble men. You gotta beware of those men that look good, the purple monsters, the black raider men. You gotta beware of those men.
It's just what's appealing to the eye. And where's that scripture? Is I believe it was speaking about just as far as a rich man in gay clothing. Pretty much don't look at the brother that's in raggedy apparel and then the one in gay apparel and then set him up above. It's like it ain't about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure where it is, but continuing on, it says
judging man not on his outward.
Yeah, con. That's how it goes. Con a lot. Verse 16 it says, "Ye shall know them by their fruits." It says, "Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles?"
Read that again.
I'm gonna stop from the top. 15. It's Matthew 7 and 15. It says, "Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves."
Yeah, inwardly they ravening wolves. He's looking to reap a reward here on earth. He's not a man of the Lord. Keep going.
And then just backing up with the point. I mean, what is it? What is his elder teaching? That we're trying to build a kingdom in this kingdom.
Yeah, we're speaking about the elder right now.
Yeah,
we're speaking about him. And you're right. Well, that's well documented. ISUPK want to build up a kingdom within the kingdom of Esau. Hey, he is of his father, the devil.
Verse 16, it says, "Ye shall know them by their fruits."
Now, what are the fruits of the men? It's with the words that he speak and the men and the men that's developed from that, man. Are your men learned? Are your followers learned men? What do Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Rakah, Apostle Around Life always say, and the elders up in spiritual Jerusalem? What do they always say when they teach us? And the elders of the respective camps in the states. They teach us and they say, go learn this for yourself. Go study. The scriptures say what? Let every man be persuaded in his own mind. How do you be persuaded? You hear it, you learn it, and then you go and study it for yourself. Like to understand the two different Hebrew words for virgin, you know, to understand what to lay hold mean, you know, to take by force mean, to be humble mean, you know, the true meaning of rape, you know, only an idiot will really believe that men of the Lord is out there looking and preying upon little women, little girls in this world, you know.
It's called research, man. You know,
That's
it means to go back, read meaning back, search meaning to look out.
You
know?
see,
and that's ultimately how you get an understanding. Because all in all, you know, but of course, like the apostle said, when you first come in this thing, you are a parrot.
Yeah.
But until you go back and actually get it for yourself, you know, because all in all, we study to teach, we study to answer, you know.
But I will say this, you know, yes, you're a parrot, but very basic breakdowns, you know, very basic breakdowns. You can read what the color of the Lord is, you know. You can read and figure out that Mary, when she had Yahweh shot, she had to have been popped before, you know. You can read that. You can go into the Hebrew and read that and be like, okay, my older brother taught me this. I'm reading it for myself. What I've read has brought him to be telling the truth, you know, and that's being persuaded in your own mind, you know. That man had no business on having a gun. He had no business of being a part of anything right now, you know. He should be on the other side of the camp learning still, you know. He has no business out there. Keep reading.
16 it says, "Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles?" Verse 17 it says, "Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit."
Yeah, and what's that good tree in today's term? You know, the apostles of GMS. Yeah. You know, Apostle Tahar and down. You know, because they put in the work. It's well documented, which they was not charging their congregation for breakdowns. You know, they put in the work. He said Apostle Tahar left the truth. He been on the street for the past 30 years bringing out this truth.
No breaks.
What are you talking about? You know? Look at his fruit. You know? You got brothers in GMS that's reading the Hebrew fluently. You know? Look at the fruits. You got complete slaughter. Yeah. You know?
But that was when you look at it, it was like he said, this is strictly about doctrine. And when he came up and defended that doctrine, you saw what fruit was right, what fruit had the most nutrients in it. Mm-hmm. You know, was grown the proper way, was groomed the proper way. Because he completely slaughtered. And at all in all, you saw who the Lord was dealing with. Because look, man, out of two or three witnesses. Out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. Mm-hmm. And that took place right then and there. That's you right. know? And all in all, what's being shown is what's what and who's who in the grand scheme of things.
Exactly, because we coming to the end of this thing, and I remember a couple of weeks ago I was watching the LA camp. You know, if a brother from LA see the video, Lord's will, you can attest. A brother went to the second camp in LA and said, "Hey man, keep doing what y'all doing. The world is watching. The world is watching. You know, the world is watching us, man. The world is watching us, and there's a lot of sincere brothers out there that's trying to figure out why there's a division. You know." And the scriptures say, "Can two walk together lest they be agreed?" What's that? Amos 3:3. You know, you don't gotta get it. Okay. You know, we're not agreed. You know, and so they will have to figure out what's the true doctrine that's being preached here. You know, hey, and we're not looking for extra members just to have members, man. You know, we're looking for brothers. We're looking for men that truly fear Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Apostle Tahar is not worried about men sending him tights. He's talking about every Passover, brother. This brother can attest. Shit, I'm like, oh, You know, make sure I'm on point. I don't want to get kicked out. You know, I want to be on point because I believe this is the brotherhood of Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shah.
That's right.
You know, yeah. Our apostle, hey man, if you ain't on your shit, our apostle gonna kick you out.
Come.
That's how serious they is about this thing. You know, you could do a man like that can enter into ISUPK, man. That ain't nothing but a game. You know, that ain't nothing but the Bloods and the Crips. You know, that I guess that's non-violent Bloods and Crips. You know.
But here it is. You like when just speaking about fruit, man. When you actually look at it from a physical perspective, like here it is. You grew a crop and it's time for harvest, and you got clusters of grapes and beautiful grapes, and then you got these dead, withering away stuff. You're gonna take that stuff and you're gonna throw it away.
Mm-hmm.
That's just essentially how it is, because you're not gonna be able to gain anything from it.
Exactly.
And that was a clear example of what happened. You know.
Yeah.
But you want me to
Yeah,
finish?
keep going.
So look, I was
So
getting
cool.
something else. What was it? 7, right?
Yeah.
7.
He's at
17, yeah. It says, even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit. It says, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit.
You know, and that man was evil, because when the scriptures kept coming out, he had no scripture to debunk what brothers was saying. He went into the video and said, see, look, we ran them off the street right here. Look, we ran them off the street right there. We ran them off the street right there. And when he was getting cut to the soul, he kept screaming, rape, 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 like a fucking child. You know? And what he was doing was committing abomination. And I'm going to prove that right here. This is Proverbs 6 and 16. It says, these 6 things doeth Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shah hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue. You see? A lying tongue. That is a lie, calling men of GMS rapists. We have daughters, man.
That's right.
You know? We have daughters. And hey, men like that is lucky that we spiritual, man. You know, because Yahweh Shah said, vengeance is his, saith the Lord. You know? Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. You know? We waiting on our big brother to come back, and we gonna lay hands on you niggas. Yeah, that's right. You know? Because that's a lie, man. That's abomination. And abomination is a sin committed that should be brought. You should be put to death. You know?
This is Matthew chapter 3 and verse 10. It says, and now also the axe is laid unto the root of the trees. Therefore every tree which bringeth not forth good fruit, it is hewn down and cast to the fire.
Why was the fig tree cursed forever? You know? Because it ain't bring forth fruit.
Your purpose. I mean, it's a purpose, man. There's a goal. Like, there's a standard. It's been set, you know. And if all in all, you're gonna be exposed. Because if you're not sincere, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. At the end of the day, you're gonna be exposed. And that's essentially what happened. And spiritually, what I just read, Matthew 3 and 10, that happened out there. It was hewed down in the spirit, you know. And as far as the rhetoric that he was coming with, man, all that is doctrine of men, you know. These are sensual, like these are emotional guys.
I know you're holding that. Go ahead.
It's a lot. Let me go ahead and grab it, bro. Because that's ultimately what it is, man.
Don't drop 7, though.
I hold it.
You good. You can get back to it. Go ahead.
This is Matthew 15 and 7. Yeah, Matthew 15 verse 7. It says, ye hypocrites. It says, well did Isaiah prophesy of you, saying. It says verse 8. It says, this people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips. But their heart is far from me.
Right. He acknowledged that the name of Yahweh Shah was Yahweh Shah. You know, even though he started off saying Christ. You know, he acknowledged that was his name. You know, but read it again real quick. That last part.
It says, this people draw nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me.
Yeah, his heart was far from Yahweh Shah. You know, because he just said Yahweh Shah like it wasn't nothing, just Yahweh Shah. But when he said Yohana, he said Commanding General Yohana. You know, He put that man on high as if he's over our Lord. You gotta be kidding me, man.
Hey, basically, the Lord, man, the Lord's called. You being called out, man. You spiritually was put on blast, you know, cause man, you talk a good talk, you know. At the end of the day, well, I can't even say you talk a good talk, cause what came out was complete garbage. But you pretty much you standing for the truth, you know, so to speak. You standing for Yahweh Shai. It's all bullshit. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. So I'm going to continue it on. It says, verse 9, it says, but in vain they do worship me. It says, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men.
Yeah.
So without, hey, listen, man, if you ain't going back like we just was harping on, you know, earlier, if you're not looking these things up for yourself, if you're not researching, if you're just taking a man's word for something, what are you, essentially, this is exactly what you're doing. It says, but in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. You mean we supposed to be dealing straight. You know, we supposed to be going just essentially with the elder brothers did up there. Hey, look, let them talk. Okay, you finish, get the scripture, because you about to be cut down, and that's exactly what happened.
Some brothers let him talk for that reason as well, but they let him talk so he can get his own rope to hang himself.
Yeah, Gunn, and that's exactly what he did. And when we're continuing on, in verse 10 it says, and he called the multitude and said unto them, it says, hear and understand. It says, not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth a man. The scriptures say a fool is counted wise when he keep his mouth shut, man.
Yeah.
You were better off just be quiet, just shutting up, man. Yeah. Just be quiet and just listen.
Because he admitted that he didn't know anything when he said, I'm just a truth. Because he said, hey, my elders, pretty much, you know, my elders ran these men off the street. Yeah. My elders, you know. But then he was like, what about you? Why can't you do this?
Yeah.
No, I'm just a truth. Well, you need to keep your mouth shut.
Yeah,
you know. Now we all know that you're a fool. The whole world know that you're a fool.
Right.
You know, and everyone knows that ISUPK is being brought down. You get that? Man, if I got it. It's Matthew 7:19. It says, every tree that bringeth not good fruit is hewed down and cast into the fire. You know, and that's what's happening to ISUPK, man. They being hewed down, they being brought down, and they're gonna be cast into the fire. What's that fire? It's gonna be the thermonuclear missiles. You know, because what do their leaders say? Take the chip. You know, I'm gonna take the chip. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna get me something to eat. You know, I'm gonna take the chip. So all his followers, hey, that's a blind man. It's a blind man. All his followers is going to follow him right into that ditch and going to be cast into the fire. It says, wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. You know, and that man was one of the fruits of General Yohana, whatever the guy name is. You know, that was your fruit that just was put on blast by the fruit of Apostle Tahar. And I hope you take that at the chin, man. You know, because you scorning and you slandering a man of the Lord. You know, you're going to have to pay for that.
But you want to know where everybody got that lot. Everybody is sanctioned to play a certain part in the whole grand scheme of things, you know, at the end of the day. And, you know, man, all in all, it clearly was showing you lack understanding, and you want to know what like verses, what is this, 15 and 11, Matthew 15 and 11 says, not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, that this defileth a man. And all in all, this is strictly about doctrine. This ain't nothing personal, man. Like this is strictly what you're teaching. Yeah. And you want to know what? If you would just humble down and be like, hey, you want to know what? You was right. You know, and it's okay to be wrong. You know, it's okay to be wrong.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
you're right, but at this point, it's personal because you holding up progress, man. Yeah, we want to get the hell up out of here, man.
You're right.
Brothers don't want to go to work every night, wake up every morning. You know, it's people like you, man. That got the elect. That's not necessarily what it can't yet. That's sincere, confused. You know. And may death be upon you, man. It's personal.
A little bit more. Yeah, verse 12, it says, then came his disciples and said unto him, knowest thou that the Pharisees were offended after they heard this saying? It says, but he answered and said, every plant which my heavenly Father have not planted shall be rooted up.
And that's what's happening, man.
God, and that was a clear example. Hey, listen, the root, all of that was pulled up, man. That doctrine of men, that philosophy, all that crap that you was coming with, it was completely rooted up. And out of the mouth of two or three witnesses, they were there to see. And now you put all on YouTube for and you looking like a fool. You looking like a fool because a woman and a church Jake was able to receive that. With not even like they just listened. It was one time. They heard it one time and it was like, yeah, like that's what it said. I don't know what he talking about.
Yeah, because when he said these men promotes rape, sister.
These
men promote rape. And they say, hey, it's in the scriptures. It's in the scriptures. Hey, what they say, hey, can you show us that? Can you prove that? Brothers went and proved it, and he was the only one who didn't receive it. He was the only one who didn't receive it because his gang members don't approve, and he don't know the scriptures at all, so he wasn't able to discern the truth. You know, that man, hey. The Lord is speaking this up. That was a very spiritual video. Hey, the water to them Akim out there in the main camp that put that out there. Hey, because you put a whole different spirit in the world of Israel.
Yeah, can I add one more, bro? Verse 14 it says, let them alone. It says they be blind leaders of the blind. It says, and if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. Hey,
that's what it is, you know. Hey, to the sincere brothers in these camps, you know, let me get this scripture. To the sincere brothers in these camps, man, you know. It's a lot.
Yeah, you good, because man, all in all, man, is like the Lord said, man. The ditch is coming, man.
Yeah, let me get this. This is Proverbs 3:5. It says, trust in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua with all thine heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. You know, trust me. We understand what it means to be led by men and to be loyal to these men. Trust me, we understand. But you have to acknowledge and trust in the Lord. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, he will direct your path to the truth. Brothers that's in these other camps, if you've seen that, you need to research and go do some more digging yourself. That history that he said the split happened in the year 2000, go back to GMS Truth Center and listen to the Captain Pasha break that down. You know, because that split happened before that. You know, and Apostle Taha never left the truth. You know,
it's a lot of disinformation.
Exactly.
And so all it is just to sow that seed. You know what I'm saying? And all it is just Satan, man, trying to hinder this at the end of the day.
Yeah, man. The time is speeding up, bro. It's not gonna be long-winded. We just gonna wrap it up right there. You know, but Lord's willing, whomever this video is for, you know, you come across it and be edified, Lord's will. You know, like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushua, B'Shem Ruach HaKodesh, double honor to our apostle and elders up in Great Millstone, and I'll say Shalom.
Shalom.